Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a wee while since my last video. I'm working on something super special in the background, which will hopefully be ready in the next few days, maybe a week at a push, so please hit subscribe if you want to get notified of that. I'm really excited about it and hopefully you guys will be too. But today I've got a couple of cool block swapper designs that I thought I'd post, because I get a lot of use out of them and I think they're excellent, and I use them in almost every base build I do. So let's go and have a look. So here we are at a house I've just thrown together in creative. Obviously I haven't completed the roof because I want to be able to show you guys how easy this Tileable block swapper is. So let's go inside our house and see what happens. Suddenly our hidden lighting is revealed and we leave again. If we have a look through the window, it's gone. Back around here and it's gone. So when we come into our house, our lighting appears, and when we go away, it disappears. And then we've got the opposite thing for the other design. So the other one works below the ground. So let's have a look. And there's our hidden in-ground lighting. When we leave, it disappears too. So I've got the same houses built up here, minus all the ground, so that we can see how it all works. And apologies, I've got a bit of a cold if my voice sounds a bit gruff. So here is our in-ground lighting. So let's take a walk in. And there it is. And let's have a look at the block swapper for this. You'll see it's actually, so the block swapper is this bit here, starting with that piston, and it goes, it's this kind of Y-shaped bit. I've just tiled a bunch of them together and then put them side by side so that we get two rows of sea lanterns popping up. So it's actually this really simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 block design here, and it's all tileable. And if we go and have a look at the ceiling one, that's even easier, because it's almost the same design but flipped over, but we don't need the corner blocks because we can power the sticky piston from this observer via quasi-connectivity, or QC, you might hear it referred to in other videos. So let's go in here and make sure it's still working. Oh. Then we'll pretend to leave again. I just love how the blocks all come out sort of one at a time, each one triggering the next one. So let's have a look at how we actually build these. Although, looking at the screen right now, you can probably build it yourself, but we'll do it anyway for the video and for you guys. Sometimes I like to see the block by block build anyway, so let's build it out behind this. Let's move further away a bit. Okay, we're gonna have a sticky piston facing up. That's what we're going to start with. That's going to get powered by an observer down below. So that observer has to point up. Oh, didn't want to start an observer clock. So that observer down below is going to be triggered by an observer facing forward. So we're going to trigger the block swapper by activating this observer, which makes this piston move. Then we want an observer facing away from the piston, because we need it to watch the piston. So there we go. It's watching the piston, and it should power a block behind it. Oops. And on top of that block there should be another sticky piston. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And then if we stick a couple of blocks on top of this. That one needs to be in the original position. And then we can stick a button in front of that observer. Push it. Sorry, we need to place the button first, or this won't work. There we go. Then we build our floor around the same height as the sea lantern here. You can use this. This is great for making workbenches pop up in your base. If you have a storage room or whatever, you can have workbenches hidden below the ground and make them pop up. And because this observer's pointing forward and none of these items interact with anything on either side of them, it's fully tileable. So we would put other observers here watching the first one, as many as we wanted. Then we would just start tiling it out like this. See how super simple this is to build. Look at that. I know I'm flying around in creative, but get some scaffolding, and this wouldn't take much longer in survival. And I'll show you how to trigger it if you don't want to stick a button in front of your observer here. You've got a nice wooden floor, and did it again, and now you've got some lighting that's popped up. So if we want to trigger this from a button further away or something, then simply put something in front of the observer that it's going to see and notice a state change. So let's go for some redstone dust, and then we could take that anywhere we wanted. Stick a button on the front of that. Although sometimes you need to reset the blocks after you've messed about with the stuff in front of the observer, because it can mess with the initial timings of these blocks. Here we go. So button. And the other thing to be aware of is, depending on the direction that you use, or that this is built in, whether it's north and south or east-west, the starting position of these blocks will change. I can never remember which it is. I always have to test it out. But it's what we did. We're facing east, and see the blocks are placed in this position. If we were facing north or south, then this would be set up. Would need to be set up like this. So just be aware of that. If it doesn't work the first time, then just swap the blocks beside the sticky pistons over to the other side and it'll work. And believe it or not, that is the more complicated of our two designs. So let's go build the other one. Just do it behind the house over here to make sure we're all in line. And I will have the world download for this world in this video description. I'll also have the Lightmatica schematic in the video description in case you use Lightmatica and want to bring the schematic into your world. If you want to know more about Lightmatica, or want to learn a bit, if you already use it and want to know a bit more about its features, then I have a video for it, a little tutorial video, so I'll link that in the description as well. And we'll get this built right now. So, sorry if this video's a bit rambly as well, because it's super late at night here, and just thought this would be a fun little video to throw together. So, yes. So, for this one, we want to start with the top observer. It's the thing that's going to receive the go signal. So this observer up at the top of the triangle, and below that we want a sticky piston. Now we'll get to this, but the observer actually triggers the one diagonally behind it through something called quasi-connectivity, which we'll not get into in this video. So this observer makes this one work, and then we've got a couple of observers watching that piston. Those observers in turn trigger some other pistons via quasi-connectivity. We'll put those in, and that is the whole block swapper. We just need the blocks to be placed that we're going to swap. And remember, we can also swap slabs with this as well. So let's pop in a smooth stone slab there. Let's make this observer go with a button. Again, I keep doing that. Place your button before you place your blocks that need swapped. So there we go. And again, you can tile this all the way back. So just remember that your observer always powers the one diagonally away from it. So your observer line can stop one away from the end. And that, my friends, is the block swapper done. And again, this one will change in terms of where these blocks are placed if we're facing north or south. So if we were facing north and south, this block would in fact be over here. And if we try that now while we're facing east and west, it initially looks like it's working, and then it messes up because it pushes one of the blocks 2 spaces away and just passes that sea lantern back and forth. So that is how we do those cool block swappers. So I will put this video or this world in the description for download if you want to come and play with it, and a link to the Litematica schematics will be there as well. And again, please subscribe. I really want to take more control of YouTube's hands and into my own hands for this channel and the adverts that YouTube decides to run against it. I'd prefer to have no adverts, but for that I need to reach at least 1,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy these videos, even if you don't enjoy them, just want to be nice, then please hit subscribe. Thank you.